So my first question goes to IOCL actually. Everybody is talking about digital and all, but Manish, I want to know how far shall an enterprise go for digital? Is there any end to it? Or let's try digital, digital, digital. Should we end somewhere?
I think it's very too early to talk about even end. We are just beginning to walk. So for the limited time I have started working on digital in the last 6 months, I think there is tremendous potential. And going digital is the way forward. Whatever we do in our lives as we see it, and we heard since yesterday till today, all the tech companies and how the world is talking, how our children are growing, The pandemic has actually taught us that when things go wrong, the things which have really saved us, our companies, in the last 3 years, is the way we were actually somehow prepared to handle them digitally. So to me, digital has no end. I will like to see my organization use every bit of digitalization which can make it more operationally excellent in terms of, because as you see, IOC runs into refining business. It's a very large supply chain management company. I run pipelines of 15,000 plus kilometers. Then I have my trucks running, I have my ships chartering happening. So for me, I have just, just venturing into the every nuts and bolts of it. For me, digitization proposes a scenario where the people at the top, CXOs, people at CFO level, they are able to save very, they talk in terms of saving those cents, those dollars when we are operating our refineries. Every day of interruption, my refinery costs me 400 crores. So if my predictions can save that interruptions even for an hour, I am saving that kind of money. So it is in terms of optimization, my cost, improving my efficiencies, all my supply chain, if I am able to improve, all these costs lead to my, the cracks which we talk about. That is where I earn my money. That's the refining business. It's a very large manufacturing company to say. And so we are still governed by the company, by the government. So the pricing again, people have seen, though I performed so very well in refining, I still lost money in the first quarter. So for me, to predict everything, I need to be on a digital platforms. And yes, I think that's how I look at it. And I just started working, as I said.
Peethambaran, what is digital to Bharat Petroleum? Or how does it impact your sector?
See, to me, any marketing company, there is a two critical items. One is deep understanding of the customer. Second is extreme efficiency in delivery. And deep understanding, when you talk Bharat Petroleum, we have 20,000 retail outlet, 2.1 crore customer coming to my retail outlet every day, 5 crore cylinder dispatch every month, reaching every houses, and 1 lakh lube dealers, 10,000 direct dealers, then the aviation customers. These kind of numbers are actually, without a proper digital tool, you cannot create a relationship with the customer.
Okay.
So that is why we thought, actually, we started in basically 2019 end. That means just during the corona time, we formed an exclusive task force actually. It's called as a Project Anubhav. Anubhav means experience. Yes. And we made a task force and bring people from all the businesses. We said, let us go for digital. Why digital important for us actually? Because we are dealing with commodity. Petrol, diesel is a commodity actually. And we very well know that actually we are sitting in a Swayamvar ka market. Swayamvar mein ladki decide karta hai kiske upar haar dalna hai.
Achha.
Correct, no? And that she also decides actually that the king has to be good, kingdom must be good, he has to be handsome, then only the harp will come. If you are not going to be a king like that, har padega aapko upar nahi, aapka photo ko upar padega. So that we did not want to get into that actually. That is why we thought actually let us understand the customer deep actually. So we went into, for that actually basically 2 items required. One is to have a collected data from that. Every transaction there is a lot of data. We get 2.1 crore customer data transaction into my cloud. And entire customer front end, we move into cloud because agility is required.
Okay.
Back-end transaction is almost laminar, so agility may not be that much required. Front end is highly fluctuation, so moved into cloud. Everything we moved into cloud. And we went into the best software available, like we are on a Salesforce platform for the sales team actually. And we have created the entire network connected. Even today, the 20,000 outlet is connected. We have a command and control center at Noida. Entire 20,000 network outlet. And what is happening in outlet visible to me. For simple example, every retail outlet, the price has to change at 6 o'clock. every day morning. It was happening physically. Somebody has to go to the outlet, put it in the computer and change it actually. I had no visibility, they correctly changed it. Some complaints comes only, I'll know that it was not changed. Today, my system controls 20,000 outlets, the price changes 6 o'clock exactly. If it is not happening, the system shut off the pump. They cannot operate. There's a manual absolutely no manual dependence. And to do that, actually, we had focus group discussion with the people. We had 400 focus group discussion almost 1.5 years. 400 focus group discussion with the customers and the people who are dealing with the customer. Then we got the input. Then we developed the solutions. Then we went back to again the customers, said, this is what we are bringing. They said, no, nothing more we are looking. Something more we are looking. They modified the initiative when we brought up initiative. Because I said, actually, we have 8 marketing units. There is no commonality, actually. Means there is no common visibility to the customer, which is retail, which is LPG. So we bought a super app. Our super app is Hello BPCL. You come to Hello BPCL super app, mobile app, you get all the verticals, 8 verticals available there.
What Tata Neu basically did for them. Right?
Tata Neu did later.
After you. Okay.
Tata definitely, I fully respect the company, but they came after me.
Okay.
After, of course, they may be stronger, definitely in many cases actually. But by what we thought actually, all the requirements, customer can come to one platform. Then we brought a chatbot. We see our country like this actually, we know that actually everybody may not be that tech savvy actually. We brought a chatbot. Our chatbot is called Urja. And Urja is in 13 languages, not English, Hindi alone. 13 languages we brought it actually. So today what I am seeing in the system actually, 41% of the customer dealing with Urja in other than Indian English. So it is working and everyday transaction is more than 2 lakh. 1.5 years we crossed 5 crore transaction in Urja alone. And we got a certificate from, appreciation from Mark Zuckerberg, nothing less than that actually. So what we said actually, create a platform for the customer to interact with the company. Once the data come, we have very strong analytic group. They are also reporting to me only, very strong analytic group. See, data alone is not sufficient. Once the data comes, then the analytics will analyze what happened yesterday, what is happening today, and what is required for tomorrow. Because if any marketing company wanted to be sustainable in the market, you should not wait the customer to ask something. You should have the capability to listen to the heartbeat of the customer. If you are not developing the capability digitally to listen to the heartbeat of the customer, your heartbeat will have problem.
Great. I was talking to him in the afternoon. You know what beautiful thing he told me. At Bharat Petroleum, we don't we don't wait for LPG customer to book the LPG. We tell him, it's a time, please book the LPG. So that kind of analytics actually he was talking about. Yes. So,
I tell you that actually, because we have a data. Because when we said that, actually, when you have the data, when I was head of LPG, earlier this actually I was head of LPG, I asked the same question to my team. You have the entire transaction data of me as a customer for last 10 years. Why the hell are you asking me to book it actually? Take away the pain of the customer. I don't want to do that. Then they said, actually, sir, we can look into. Today what is happening actually? We analyze the data. Then we say, send SMS to the customer, sir, your cylinder may be empty. We will book for you. If you don't want to book it, please press the button below. Then we book it actually.
And the success rate is 89%.
89% is there, and the customer is telling, I am very happy. And I tell you, we send this alone more than 78 to 80 lakh cylinder. That is acceptance actually. And people see that actually. See, basically, any marketing company, you have to take away the pain of the customer, because at the center of the business is customer only. My salary, my chairman's salary comes from customer only. If I am not bringing a solution to take away the pain of the customer, then I cannot sustain. That's what we did it actually. Our entire digital initiative is based on that only.
Great.
Take away the pain of the customer, increase internal efficiency. That's the second part.
Actually, not to be quoted, I was just calculating one day because I am in touch with mostly all the CIOs of public sector because I belong to that particular forum. If you take top 12 PSUs, the investment of about 5,000 crore is going for digital transition. More than 5,000 crores. So I don't know how many sponsors are listening to it. But definitely, if the investment is 5,000 crores, you can understand the magnitude of value what these companies are expecting for their company. So it's really great. So I was talking to Akhil also one day. Actually, during this pandemic time, they really managed the show. I think the power was on all the days coming to our house. So was LPG also, and so was no petrol pump was dry on this pandemic's timing down. But NTPC as a B2B, they did very well. Akhil, can you please tell us how did you manage during this pandemic, the business resiliency, how it went actually? What kind of automation digital you did?
Yes, definitely, sir, with pleasure. Actually, it was year 2016 when we started some initiatives, and mainly when you're talking about going digital and digital initiatives. So we started a special digital initiative which we call Pradeep. Pradeep is proactive digital initiatives to become paperless. So that started in 2016, we started developing the project, and luckily by 2018 it was implemented. So when the pandemic hit, everything was already digitized. So from 23rd March 2019, it was not required to sit in the office and clear all those files. Believe me, in every year, there are roughly around 9,000 files which are being moved, and roughly 12.7 million pages of those files. So all of those things were digitized by that time. And in this complete pandemic period, if you call about our carbon footprint and all that, we were able to save 22,000 trees. So that is somewhere we are saving the environment as well. Coming to the financial front, we also digitized all billing and payment systems. That means every vendor of NTPC, it was not required to submit their paper bills. They could directly submit bills online, and the payment was also done online. All processing was done online. Everything before that was on paper. So that means every year roughly 9,000 crore rupees, which were supposed to be paid to vendors, nothing was stopped. And average working period for each bill, average is around 11 days. So each bill was cleared in tune between 11 days to some 20 days, bills were cleared. And to top it all, the main advantage of this digitalization or digitizing all the processes, in which we digitize around 300 processes on the system, was an insight which we could gain. All the data which we extracted from the system, and based on that we could do analytics. Like there were so many talks in the morning that how to judge employee engagement, how to see what they are doing, how to calculate the productivity. Everything was automatically coming to us. And those power centers, like we did a network analysis on all those files which were moving in the file system for approvals, and we could find out which are the files, at which point they are getting approval. And for that specific approval, who is the person who is giving the real technical or non-technical input, based on whose inputs everything is being done. So that network analysis was very important, so that we can find out which are the people most important for the organization. So this was one thing. Like there are several other initiatives in digital field, like we had all our hospitals. NTPC is having so many captive hospitals at its locations. So at all of the hospitals, everything was digitized, means all video consultations were available at all the hospitals.
It was a very important
people sitting at their home, they can do all kind of video consultations, including ex-employees, because we cannot forget them. So of course, for power plant, the business is different, means some people have to go to the plant to run the power machinery, but otherwise everybody was sitting comfortably at home, and no work was hindered at any point of the time. We also developed something for our contract laborers. You know, we have a huge workforce of laborers who are on contract of different vendors who are working at our plant.
What's the approximate numbers of such?
In totality, today we have 180,000 workers on those who are registered.
Employees who are moving into their premises.
Every day 80,000 are moving.
Okay.
Every day 80,000 are moving, and more than double of that are registered workers. And this system takes care of all their medical well-being, medical health checkups, their security trainings, their clearances, all kind of different kind of security clearances, and their other benefits, like for example, their PF has been deposited by the contractor or not, whether their insurance premium is being deposited by the contractor or not, whether they are getting proper salary as devised by the government of India or not. So all of these things are covered in that system, and that is again because of digitization only. So there is no limit, of course.
Thanks. Actually, I was the member of the concept called 1 trillion economy, digital economy, which was constituted by Prime Minister and done by Niti Aayog. McKinsey was the executor for it. From the oil and gas industry, I was the member of it. A lot of emphasis was given to oil and industry. Why? Because they say the kind of digital payments which will happen in the oil and gas industry will not happen anywhere. So that's why, they really considered oil and gas industry as a very, very important factor into this 1 trillion economy paper. Taking the clue from this, I just want to ask you, you have how many retail outlets? 20,000 retail outlets, and every 30 seconds or minute they are generating a single transaction, right? How do you control these retail outlets? What is,
Yeah, that's what I said. We have a, in technology terms, we call it as a command and control center. We call it as an IRIS.
Okay.
Our pet name is IRIS.
IRIS means integrated retail automation.
No,
Acha,
basically
IRIS.
it's that meaning actually, the nucleus part. So because everything is controlled there actually. So entire 20,000 retail outlet, not only retail outlet, our installation, LPG plant, everything is connected. And each retail outlet we have kept as exception statements actually. What is monitored and what is to be, not to be monitored actually. Like RSP we are monitoring, tank product we are monitoring, and testing of nozzles we are monitoring. There are 7-8 parameters we have kept it actually.
Can you shut down the dispensing units from the
Yes,
command
yes,
center?
yes. They cannot operate. If the price is not
So remotely you can shut down the dispensing
6
unit?
o'clock the price has changed. If in 6 o'clock is not changed, 6:01 the pump is shut. It only allowed to open when the price is changed and the system is identified the price is correct. System will verify it actually, no mismatch. Then system allowed to operate. There is no manual intervention actually. There is no manual intervention. Like actually, if you are a customer, retail customer, if you go to the retail outlet, normally we all have a concern whether I am charged correct price, whether the quantity coming is correct or not. We don't see the petrol or diesel actually. Something is coming to the black tube, we don't see it actually. Whether I am full quantities, but always people say, no, nozzle kuch kiya, kuch kadbade. That's what we said actually. We will take the technology will take away the pain. We look up the customer, price is changed. The price is correct. What we did actually, entire retail outlet and our installation supply point, it is completely automated. And when the lorry comes for the installation, it is automated. It's a they'll have to swipe the card, then only it's permitted. The approved driver is permitted, approved lorry is permitted. It will go to the approved bay, and approved quantity is permitted through the automation. Once it is filled, the lorry is digitally locked with the geofencing. That means inside only it can lock it. Once it is digitally locked, the travel is monitored through VTS, and that VTS is monitored by IRIS. That means nerve center actually. If any deviation, then the lorry is not allowed to unload. When the lorry comes, when I digitally lock, the OTP goes to the dealer, where it is to be received. When the lorry comes to the retail outlet, again it is checking with the geo mapping. Geos mapping and the digital lock, it's opened with an OTP. That means the correct product has come. When it is unloaded, we are monitoring through a video analytics. And video analytics is monitored by the IRIS. So every part of this one is we are taking care. We are telling the customers, boss, I'm using technology to take care of the product is come. And every machine has to be touched in a predetermined time. That's once in a week. And if it is not tested, the machine is not allowed. So the quality, quantity part is taken care. That basically we are using, and it is happening to 20,000 outlet, and almost every day we get the data of 2.1 crore customer. And data analytics we are using it actually. What is the pattern of customer behavior? So that will know. Well, like LPG, that will know tomorrow. Okay, you are a regular customer. You are using this. Tomorrow we can send a message to you, sir. We are missing you if you are not coming regularly. That is the level we are walking into.
Great. So Manish, my next question is to you. If you look at from the refinery's point of view, the crude procurement, right, the processing complexities, the yield maximization, inventory loss again, the way he was talking about, gross refinery margin, there are so many other complex things which happens at the refinery functioning and all. I was just reading 6 months back, there's a company called Stat Oil, which is one of the refinery and sector. They call them, they are the digital refinery actually. They call them as a digital refinery. They write a line digital refinery. So I just want to know, Indian Oil has got 10 refineries. So how you are using digitalization for refineries so that you also move towards you call it either intelligent refinery or a digital refinery. What are the things you are taking through digital there?
To start it, I just want to say that whatever Mr. Peethambaran was talking, all the 3 companies in the public sector units are mostly using all such technologies to reach out to the customers. And to the specific question of refineries, I think the project iDrive which I held, which got initialized in 2019, which basically stands for Indian Oil's digital readiness and IT vision enablement, was specifically conceived to bridge these gaps. And some of the initiatives which we are very keen and very happy about are the advanced analytics, which we are trying to make our refinery very digitally enabled. So we are happy to call some of our refineries very digitally enabled, and the advanced analytics which we are driving, I will try and like to mention 3 of them, 3 artifacts what we are trying to use. One is called the digital twin, which we are trying to achieve for certain major and critical units like FPU is the feed processing unit, or the FCCU, wherein we are trying to maximize the yield, maximize the profit, and also to have the maximized best quality product. So what we have done is we have taken the 2 years data of those units into our DMP, and we combine that with our real-time data. And we carry out 3 kind of iterations on those data. First, as an optimizer, we see what is the results and the yields which can come out and the quality which comes out. Then by changing the parameters of some of the optimizers which run in the refinery, we try to maximize the profits also. What like LPG is to be maximized based on the parameters designing, we are able to maximize all these 3 things. And we have created a digital twins for certain of these 3 units. We have done that in Haldia refinery, and at all stages, I like to mention the workforce and the people are the ones who had done the entire iterations along with the team which is working with me. Second part is to have a predictive maintenance of my critical equipment. On a similar platform, some of my refining equipments which I am mentioning, to avoid any interruptions, especially the GT interruptions, the power interruptions, we have taken the historian data into considerations and also take the real-time data. We carry out this predictive analysis, and based on certain parameters which are, the temperature, the pressure, the vibrations, we try to predict and see when the maintenance should be carried out, not on a routine basis, we just do a maintenance where it is required or not. So this has led to a kind of savings in terms of the uptimes which I have provided to my company. Even a 3 days uptime, which it can lead to like 1,000 crore plus of profits for my company. Third is, what we have done is that for certain equipment like heat exchangers, the flare managements, the time to clean those things and the money involved have been predicted through these prediction models, and we have employed very deep analytics processes. And this has resulted in, through the change in temperatures and the pressures, we are able to see that when the actual exchange or the cleaning of these heat exchangers should be carried out.
Great.
So these are 3 major things where I just point out. Many such things which has led to the petrol getting maximized, the latest one we just did in Haldia refinery, and many such things in energy management systems, in the APC which we have introduced, and all these things have led to a situation we are able to control my refineries, what GHG emissions they are trying to do and how we are able to manage their performance better.
Great. I think I'll just put a last question for 1 minute. For any digital journey, a great infrastructure is really necessary, right? That's the backbone for it. Are we still very conservative with using the cloud, or what is your journey for cloud actually? Have you started using it? How much is the adoption rate?
Yeah, what we did actually, all the customer front initiative, everything we started with the cloud only, cloud first.
Okay.
Our policy is actually, all the front end, actually you take it cloud because agility, where agility is required. My transactions are like that actually.
So PSUs are changing, okay?
Yeah. Actually, my only request is the PSU, always you look at PSU in a different way, but please don't look the PSU like that. We are not the 1947 PSU. We are completely different now. Completely different. That I wanted to make it actually. So the backend, if you ask me my SAP transaction, today it is still on-prem. Tomorrow it may be, but all the front end we have taken it. But 1 minute I'll take actually. More than infra, more than technology, driving digital transformation is basically change management process. It's a change management. Because ultimately any technology, there's a man involved. There's a person involved actually. Technology I can purchase. I can get a technology partner to implement it actually. But I tell you in our company or IOCL company, particularly our company, I take 20,000 dealers. There should be buy-in. I can bring technology because any digital transformation, it has got 3 components. Digitization, that means something you are doing physically made it to digital. Digitalization, bring a digital tool to make your physical activity into digital or automatic or robotic. So digitalization. Then comes to digital transformation. It's a combination of together along with the people. We spend almost 1.5 years just to make a ownership with the people. That ownership only will come, you co-create. Co-create means everybody will see Mera Wala Cream. Everybody look into that Mera Wala Cream is there. What exactly BPC did actually, we had a huge workshop, 1.5 years, with the network, with the staff, and we asked the suggestion, we took their cream. Then we said, Dekho, tumhara wala cream use ka andar hai, dekho. Now it is Amara Wala Cream. Then everybody said, yes, this is mine. My suggestion is also there. If you want to be successful in digital transformation, bring the people at the center. We always say it's a PPT, not PowerPoint. People, process, technology. Technology is an enabler, technology is not a doer. If somebody thinks that technology can be a doer, it's a wrong thing, it's an enabler actually. Bring people, and we give maximum value to people, then process redefine, then technology definitely available in the market. Get the technology, best technology you can have available. You got the money, you can get the best technology implementator. That's what we did.
My concluding remarks has already been done by Mr. Peethambaran. Very, very well said. That was the purpose of this panel discussion, just to change the perception of the people. Public sector also change with time. Thank you very much, Groverji. Thank you, Peethambaran. Thank you for coming all from Bombay and Delhi for this particular panel discussion. Thank you very much.